Hi guys, my name is Ayliz, right, and welcome to a new YouTube video. So today we are in a different setting because I couldn't really make it to my bike because I quite much get a headache from just standing and talking because like you might just see like a 5 till 10 minute video, but like I probably stand longer and I usually cut like a huge thing away from the videos because I really talk a lot if I take videos, and I always try to shorten them. So I'm actually like standing longer there, right? And I always get a headache because my helmet is quite heavy for me personally. And usually I'm also standing like beneath the sun, even though like some people might say like then just stand in a shadow. And like, yeah, I would, but most of the time there is no place in the shadows that I could like stay with the bike. So today's video will be about life, why life will always be unfair, and yeah, um, I don't really know how I will start into this. Um, I usually write like one to like 3 or 4 words before I take a video, so I not like quite have more of a way to talk. But this video, I feel like I can't really write anything, um, because there is not much to write. Like, if you think about it, life, like you can't, like before you come to this earth, you can't pick who you are, right? Like who you will be at some point, or what kind of startings you want to have, like a rich family, um, blue hair. Okay, blue hair is quite unrealistic, but like I don't know, like you want to have red hair naturally or straight hair naturally and stuff like that. So we all have different kind of starting points, okay, in life. So let alone that fact will never make life fair in any kind of way. And I still think a lot of things still depend on the person itself, that you can make your life better, but it still be unfair, okay? What I mean by that is basically, let's say you want to be, like, your dream job is to be a graphic designer, okay? And you apply for a lot of positions in that place and try to get like a trainee or something, but no one picks you. Okay, for some reason, no one picks you, even though you changed your CV and even wrote more professional or whatever. Like, no matter what you do, you just don't get picked, right? And the thing is about that, I don't know why, but I feel like everything has a reason. Like, since I'm a child, I always said, okay, I don't know why that happened to me. Like, if something bad happens, I was like, okay, I don't know why that happened, but there must be a reason. And like years later, I see why. But that's like the interesting part about it. I'm still on a different path than I thought I would be. Okay, for example, how I just said with the graphic designer. Let's say I wanted to be a graphic designer, but for some reason, no one picked my applications, okay? That basically means I'm forced to have another job that I actually didn't want to have, right? And now life forces me indirectly to change my path, even though I didn't plan it. Like, I didn't plan to change my path, right? And now I get forced into something I didn't thought I would do. And I didn't plan on doing that. For example, now I have to be now I have become a police officer. Why do I always pick the most random jobs? Okay, but let's say I now have to be a police officer for some reason, even though I wanted to be a graphic designer. Okay, that's a huge change, by the way. Okay, that's crazy. But now I'm in a job that I didn't thought about. But now two things can happen. First thing is, now I might even like that more than what I used to want it to do. Or the second job is like the job that I now got picked for, prepares me for something that I will cross in the future. If you think about it, that's crazy, right? Because let's say it like that, but I have experienced it myself. I have been always on paths that I back then didn't want it to be on and still am, but for some reason I'm making my way somewhere, okay? But I never was on the path that I planned on being. Like, not at all. Nothing that I wanted to do ever worked out. Okay, like everything I've ever planned never worked out for some reason. And I don't know why, but it also could be because some people aren't really sure about what they want to do. And so they get taken from one path to another. Especially if you have like a huge range of things you want to achieve in life. We get quite forced into things and situations for a reason, okay? And those reasons might help you in the future, because I think if I wouldn't have been gone through the paths I have been now, today I wouldn't consider taking videos. And that what's like very funny about it is that as a child, I always wanted to do YouTube. So I started to do social media. I actually started because I first of all wanted to make like biker friends. And later on I was like, you know what? I will just fulfill my childhood dream and do YouTube. Okay? Like, even though if it doesn't work out, that's not even bad, because I like doing it. Okay? And that's the point. If life is treating you unfair, okay, and there are things that you could do, then do them. Because honestly, if I think about my day, I'm doing like 80% of the time I am awake, I do things that I don't want to do, actually, okay? So there's 20% left that I could do something in order not to feel unhappy or treated unfairly. So I'm doing it. Even though if YouTube doesn't work out, I don't really care if I have a lot of people watching my videos. What I care about is that those videos reach the people that need it, you know? So, and if you also have like things you enjoy doing with like a certain purpose behind it, like my purpose is that those type of videos I'm taking, like I will also take vlogs. That's not the point. The point is that those type of videos that I'm currently doing are the videos that I want people to reach. Okay? They don't have to like, they don't have to do anything, comment, nothing. I don't care about that. All I care is if any of my videos could just help one person, that's enough for me. And already that type of thinking honestly fulfills me almost like 90%. And the 10% is like living a miserable life. No. But, you know, like, you have to do things in order to not feel as if life is treating you unfairly. And I think that like finding something with joy always helps. Like, especially if you are in a very like mindset, like the past weeks, I can tell you what happened with me, and that's why I decided to take this video, is that I started to compare myself. Even though I never do that actually, like I have never compared myself, and I'm not talking about comparing myself with, I don't know, like my grades with other people or something like that. That's not what I mean by like comparing myself, but I compared my life in terms of why do I have to go through this? Why did I have to go through that? like that type of comparing. And I realized like life is so unfair if you think about it. And life is unfair to a lot of people, y'all. That's the craziest part. But the point is that most of the time you don't even know it, because who would share on social media what like bad happens to them? No one cares about that, right? And most people care about like, I don't know, I got the latest perfume, or she got the newest bag. Like that's what most people care. But no one cares how you are. And that's quite off topic, but that's like a very interesting point. If you're out, especially in a work environment, and someone asks you like, how are you? And you're like saying always, I'm good, even though it's a complete lie, and I don't know, your house burned actually, but no one knows, because they don't care. Like, why do we ask even people like, how's your day have been, even though everyone will answer the same and say good? Like we are, I get that we shouldn't like get stuck in a conversation, but like I think we should normalize that we just say like, if you have a bad day, oh yeah, my day isn't really great, but I'm surviving, or something like that. Like, because I think it's very normalized to lie, and I think you can see that in our society. But that's so off topic. In another topic, we will not talk about this, and that's like the next thing. I can always like go from one topic to another topic and then completely lose track of the original topic I was talking about. That's also why I always like made some points that I want to like talk about, because otherwise I was always like getting like this. Yeah, but to the topic, back to the topic. And like I started comparing that, right? And I was asking myself, I was like, okay, wait a minute. Why am I comparing myself lately so much? And you know what I realized while thinking about it? I was like, I'm not doing anything I enjoy right now. That's why I started to compare everything and just started to be in a spiral of negative thoughts. Because I haven't taken any YouTube videos. I didn't have the time for that. Like I realized I didn't did stuff that I enjoyed, which led me to think about how unfair life is. But if life would be that unfair, then I wouldn't have a choice to like do things that I do enjoy while doing things I don't really enjoy. So if you feel like life is treating you unfairly lately, I want you to focus, first of all, on the things you enjoy doing, just like I did. And if there's anything you enjoy to do, even if it's just a walk through the nature, like it doesn't matter, or if it's just listening to music, do that. Honestly, do that. And focus more on things you enjoy. Like, that's so crazy. We humans tend to go so fast into like negative thoughts. It's crazy. Like, because I haven't really been creative, I literally went crazy, if you think about it, because I didn't do stuff that I wanted to do, because I didn't have the time. So now I made the time, because I was like, okay, I also have to prioritize myself. I think there isn't even much you can do, okay? And what is also important is to realize, if you think currently, like, no matter what age you are, if you currently think like, okay, but like everything is just going downhill, it's like nothing is going good and everything just sucks, ask yourself, haven't there been things that went good? Like, I don't know, you wrote a good grade, or you got the lip gloss you wanted, or you got a new bike, or whatever. Like, try to focus on the positive things. And I think I said that in a lot of videos that I have, because we really have to get used to thinking positive, because you also radiate that, right? Like, if you think very negative, you also like get more of a negative input. You know, there are people that always say like, oh, you have an unfair life, but look, that person has a worse life. Like some people say like, always compare your situation to other people's situation. I don't really think you should do that, because just because someone's situation is worse, and I'm not talking about someone ripped his nail off a little bit and the whole day is like ruined because of, like, that's not what I'm talking about, but like genuinely like heavy things, and you think like, oh, but yeah, but like that person doesn't even have food or drinks. Like, I'm not saying that it's not worse. It is. It's not even probably, it is worse. But that's just dismissing your own emotions, and honestly, I don't want that for anyone, because dismissing your own emotions, they will get just piled up in yourself. And you know, the older you get and you don't express your emotions and don't just feel like sad, like how I just said, if you feel like life is treating you unfair, be a little sad, but then like generally go up, because otherwise it will just go downhills, and we don't really don't want that. And like how I just said with comparing, that just doesn't dismiss, like, don't dismiss your own feelings. If you feel sad, then register that you feel sad and do something about it. But don't be like, oh yeah, that person has it worse, I should be grateful. Like, of course, be grateful that your situation is better than maybe someone else's position, but don't make that to your mindset, because then you're going the wrong way. Okay, you have to make your mindset to just like switch it from negative to positive. And I know that's like so easy said but not done, but you have to find out how you can like deal with it. And how I just said, I gave some tips and try to apply those. If those don't work out, then chat with ChatGPT and ask them what you could do. Like, and that's not even a joke, but like a real advice. Talk to someone. If you don't have someone, then talk to ChatGPT, or I don't know, like comment here and someone else will comment on your comment, or I will reply. Like, it's important to like express your emotions however you want to express them. If you like to paint, then just paint your emotions, but like get them out of you. Okay, like this feeling of life treating you unfairly, you have to get this out, and not just a little bit, but completely. And that's because like if you're just getting a little bit happy and then you're again like, oh, life is treating me unfairly, it's not working, and we don't want this, we want this. Okay, we don't want this, neither that, but we want this. Okay, and I think what also like helps a lot is staying off social media, because I think like it depends on what kind of topic, what kind of algorithm you have. Okay, but if you see constantly people being on vacations, for example, and you don't even have money, like you like always live paycheck to paycheck, you don't want to see that, because then you will start to compare yourself and be like, oh, life is treating me unfair, like I just live paycheck to paycheck. And those are like very like, there are, the reason I can't give a lot of like solutions to the problems that are like out there is because everyone has an individual problem. Okay, so I can just give like overall advices, but like deep down, if none of those things help, then you have to dig yourself and dig into like, okay, what else could it be, what can we get like out of this mindset. Human brains are very special, because they are just different, like, and that's completely fine and okay, but there is not always one fitting shoe for everyone. Okay, and that's like, that's the whole thing. So how I just said, just try to apply those things, and I just hope everything will get better, because I know it sucks, right? So yeah, that's it. See you in the next video. Bye bye.